Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to the Mikestand. Today is, of course, Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. So we're now into the third month of the year here. I hope everybody's having a good week thus far, good start to their week. Of course, we're going to give people a chance to come in before we get started. Let's see, just a couple of things here. Um, yeah, so, yeah, I was watching Barnacle Bill the Sailor. Got that song in my head now. I was watching Beware of Barnacle Bill, one of the cartoons I was watching earlier today. So hopefully everybody had a chance to catch last night's historical comics retrospect. We went over some of the stories. We went over some of the books that went on sale in May of 1940 from DC. Among the stories, including the introduction of the first Clayface, Basil Carlo, and in Detective Comics number 40, Batman story, of course. Yeah, we just weren't able to get through the Hour Man story due to the fact that the scan was pretty bad. So, but other than that, it was pretty much a good time had by all. Had a nice mix of stories in there. So, basically, came up a little short of the 3 hour mark. I thought we were due like 2:43, which is still pretty good. I had a feeling where again, had we basically been able to read the story, it would have probably been right around the 3 hour mark. But with that being said, let's see now. Today is okay. It's coming up. It's still 2.5 minutes. Um, Friendly reminder, of course, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the question as my ability. With that being said, however, I do need to step away from the computer for a quick moment. I'll be right back. But while I'm gone, I'll go ahead and put some music on to entertain you guys. I'll be right back here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, so might as well talk about what's on tap for tonight. So, got a couple articles from Bleeding Full tonight. One of which, of course, the first one we're going to probably be looking at is DC Studios announcing 3 new animated series that they're doing. We'll be looking at that, and then after that, got some commentary from Chris Braley in regards to Rob Liefeld and some of his recent criticisms of Marvel. So, and then of course we'll have the rest and wrap up, get you all caught up on this past weekend activities, including of course eliminate the thing that went down at Elimination Chamber on Saturday, as well as Collision from AEW. Look ahead to tonight's Raw, coming off of the Elimination Chamber, pay per view or premium live events, they like to be called now, I guess. Let me see here. Yeah, all right. Plus, of course, we'll wrap things up at the end of the show with this day in each history as well. So, with that being said, let me just do one more thing here real quick, and then we will probably get started. As we're well past the 5-minute mark now here. And again, a friendly reminder: if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream. And sharing the screen, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything grabs your attention that we talk about, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. All right, so with that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started then with material at hand here. Barnum Bill the Sailor. All right, so here's the first article we're going to be looking at. So they bring it down here. DC Studios just announced 3 new animated series in production. Article by John Pallister, published yesterday. Oh, Superpowers. I'm wondering if Superpowers is maybe some updated version of like the Super Friends cartoons of the 70s and 80s. I wonder if, 2 of the series were named. One was named the Legendary Superpowers Team. The other was the Superpowers Team Galactic Guardians. So I guess it's possible. But let's get into this. DC Studios co-chairs James Gunn and Peter Safran have announced 3 new animated series are on the way. Starfire, My Adventures with Green Lantern, and Superpowers. My Adventures with Green Lantern. I wonder that one's going to have something similar to like My Adventures with Superman feel to it. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough here. My Adventures with Green Lantern will follow Jessica Cruz, a high school student who has a Green Lantern ring drop into her life. All right, let's see. Starfire will follow the famous Teen Titan in the first days after she leaves Tamaran and ventures across space. There she will meet up with a space biker named Crush, a plant lover named Fern, and Princess Amethyst of Gem. Now, Princess Amethyst, I've seen that name before in DC lore. So the other 2 maybe new characters for. And there's My Adventures with Green Lantern. There's Starfire. Superpowers, which I think we saw at the beginning there, will be set at the Alliance School of Heroes and will focus on the new students Aquagirl, Flash, Green Lantern, Lightning, Plastic Man, and Terra, as they learn everything they need to know from principal Martian Manhunter. No release dates have been announced as of yet for the three new series. So Superpowers is more like, I guess, Super Friends meets X-Men Evolution, I guess. Or well, you have the element too of, I guess, Justice League Europe here with Martian Manhunter acting as principal. And of course, you have to kind of wonder which versions of these characters will we see. I wonder if, because of the universe, maybe, I don't know, maybe Jessica Cruz here will be part of this this animated show as well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And as I understand, yeah, like here's the Superpowers one. So, and that sounds like it's gonna be interesting. So, anyways, with that, let's go ahead and so that was a pretty quickie there. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The next article I feel will probably take a little more time. The Rob Liefeld article. Chris Braley. So here's the next article here. Drawing criticism, Rob Liefeld's poor opinion of Marvel ignores his own failures. Article by Chris Braley, published today. I think it sounds like Chris Braley is going to be maybe trying to call out Rob Liefeld for what he feels is Rob Liefeld's possible hypocrisy, but I guess let's go ahead and take a look and see what we find here. Rob Liefeld, once a comic book industry darling, has been in the news lately complaining how he felt he'd been slighted by Marvel Studios and announced his retirement from the character of Deadpool. He's also been criticizing the failures of MCU chief Kevin Feige, particularly the box office disaster of Captain America: Brave New World. What continues to go unmentioned in these rants on his social media or his podcast is how Rob's own creations have left fans frustrated and questioning his ability to deliver a solid product himself. Specifically, I'm talking about Liefeld's still unfulfilled campaigns for his Brigade comic project, which have become a prime example of what can go wrong when crowdfunding meets complacency. Way back in 2013, Liefeld launched a Kickstarter campaign for Brigade, one of his early comic creations published by Image Comics in 1992, which was a spin-off from his popular Youngblood series. The Kickstarter campaign raised over $35,000 from 562 backers. Then, 5 years later, with a still unfulfilled Kickstarter campaign, he launched a duplicate Indiegogo campaign collecting an additional $11,000. Yet, as of 2025, more than 12 years after the initial funding hit his bank account, backers on both platforms are still waiting for their promised comics. The incredibly prolonged delay has angered supporters, with some fans accusing Liefeld of fraud and even filing complaints with the Better Business Bureau. Liefeld's response: silence, blocks, and outright avoid. Yeah, that's not a good look. That is not a good look at all. I mean, that's what, 12 years? We're in 2025 now. He started this stuff back in 2013, so 12 years. 12 years after he started it, and he hasn't, he's got the money, but he hasn't actually sent out the books. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird if you think about it. I could see why people would be crying foul and calling him a fraud there. His last update on the Kickstarter was back in July 2024, so that'd be what? That'd be about 8 months ago, where he announced, quote, the hardcovers have arrived. These will start going out this week. If this was your pledge tier, please send an email to Rob Liefeld at cloud.com, unquote. However, a quick look at the replies to this announcement, which can only be made by verified backers of the campaign, clearly indicates that the hardcovers Liefeld was announcing never made it to the backers of the campaign, at least not the ones, not the, I guess ones, not one says, replying, and at least not in the many months since he posted that most recent update. Again, not a good look there, Rob. Not at all. One backer who goes by the name Dan Fieser posted in February 2025, so last month, or last week, I guess, in some way, depending on, quote, 6 months later, and nothing. Once again, no acknowledgement of the email, unquote. Yeah. As somebody who likes to be kept in the loop, if I was trying to contact somebody and they didn't get back to me, that'd frustrate me too. That'd frustrate when you feel like you're being ignored. That can get very frustrating very quickly. And that's not all. Liefeld associate Russ Cassidy of Counterpoint Comics successfully, quote unquote, kickstarted a collected edition of the original Evangeline run last summer, another Liefeld comic creation. And as of this writing, that campaign has still not fulfilled its backers either. But at this point, it is still only 4 months behind schedule, and the team is at least doing regular updates. Unfortunately, Liefeld's case is not isolated. The comics industry has seen its fair share of crowdfunding failures from established names. For instance, another notable Kickstarter project called Adam Hawk Presents the Cyberzerker, quote unquote, involving Donny Cates and Grant Morrison, which we reported on here, is currently over 2 years late in delivering promised products. This campaign, which likewise exceeded its financial goal, has left backers frustrated, questioning the reliability of even well-known creators like Cates, who still has not made any public statement acknowledging or addressing the failed Adam Hawk crowdfunding campaign. For his part, Grant Morrison did eventually respond to our reporting by telling people to ask Donny. Yeah. Oh, please don't talk to me. Talk to this guy. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to go off camera here for a quick moment. I'll be right back. As things are getting a little dim right now, I think it's a good time to probably go ahead and turn on my. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to adjust some lighting here. So let's get back to this. Get back to this article here then. Thankfully, not all established comic book creators have fallen into this trap. Other established comic professionals, such as Mike Baron, Billy Tucci, and Art Thibert, all stand out as shining examples of how to run successful, timely crowdfunding campaigns. Baron's projects, including Florida Man and Nexus, not only exceeded their goals, but in some cases raised six figures and still managed to deliver on time, maintaining a very positive relationship with backers. Thin Blue Line's another one of his successful projects. And when there have been delays, all of these guys regularly notified their backers with updates and transparency. The stark contrast between these success stories and the failures underscores a crucial point. Regardless of a creator's status or reputation, accountability and transparency are paramount in crowdfunding. Successful campaigns often share common traits: clear communication, regular updates, and a demonstrated commitment to fulfilling promises. Crowdfunding requires a level of dedication and responsibility that exists independently of industry politics. Creators who launch these campaigns are essentially making a promise to their backers, a promise that should be honored regardless of personal feelings or industry disputes. The comics industry must learn from these incidents, especially in light of recent developments, with Diamond Comic Distributors filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in January 2025. The industry is in flux. The upheaval is likely to push many creators towards crowdfunding as an alternative means of financing their projects. This shift underscores the critical importance of maintaining transparency and accountability in these campaigns. And the thing about crowdfunding too is more of the publishing side of it is on the creators themselves. They don't have like a for the publishing side of it, for like the printing, for the printing, for like the printing, for the shipping and handling and all that kind of stuff. You do need somewhat of a support team, and if you don't have it, it can be kind of screwy at times. And you gotta also stay on top of this stuff, or else you're gonna drown, right? Hmm. Again, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking, sharing the screen, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. I'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment um, and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, as we continue on here, as the industry evolves, it's clear that transparency, communication, and a commitment to fulfilling promises must be at the forefront of any crowdfunding endeavor. Crowdfunding platforms could implement stricter accountability measures, such as milestone-based fund releases or mandatory progress reports. But that isn't likely to happen soon. Well, yeah, because the crowdfunding platforms don't want to. They don't want to get the bad reputation either of carrying these failed these failed projects either, or in all that because it hurts them as well. Um, I've seen scuttlebutt on the web how it's more important to put out a quality product than putting out an quote unquote on time product. I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment. I'm simply saying that creators, for their part, need to approach crowdfunding with a clear plan and resources to execute it. The idea of having a clear plan applies to many things in life. If you want to be successful, one of the first steps is to have a clear plan, right? Have a clear vision of what you want and how you want to execute it. Let's see. If there are delays or expected delays, creators need to be forthcoming about them and offer regular updates on the progress of the project. No one likes to be ghosted or taken for granted, least of all crowdfunding books. Yeah, I mean, you're asking people to invest in your project. You're asking you're asking people to put their hard-earned money, into your project. The least you can do is at least keep them updated on how your project's going and not just disappear on the face of the earth with their money. It's almost like you are stealing from people when you do that. When you behave that way, you are acting like a thief, a thief in the night. Liefeld's crowdfunding failures, along with other high-profile delays, like the Kate's Morrison project, serve as stark reminders of the importance of accountability in the comics industry, particularly as a seismic shift is taking place in the industry. While some creators have repeatedly demonstrated that successful, timely campaigns are possible, there are a myriad of potential pitfalls and too many examples of abandoned campaigns. It's possible that guys like Liefeld and Cates simply weren't prepared with the amount of logistics involved in fulfilling a crowdfunding campaign on their own, which is possible. It's possible. A lot of people can get caught off guard by that, right? That's natural. Experienced crowdfunders emphasize the importance of thorough preparation, realistic goal setting, and clear communication throughout the process. The contrast between successful campaigns and those that face several delays or unfulfillment together is evidence that proper planning and execution are critical for crowdfunding success in the comics industry and was probably overlooked in these cases. Yeah, that's again another reasonable assessment right there. Huh. Again, feel free to comment on any of this if it kind of grabs your attention. Let's see now. All right, so finishing this off then. As the industry navigates the challenges posed by Diamond's bankruptcy, the role of crowdfunding is very likely to grow, making it more crucial than ever to maintain trust between creators and fans. Only then can we ensure a healthy future for comic book crowdfunding and the industry as a whole. All right, so there we go with that one. So we're done with the articles for tonight. We'll get ready to move on to the wrestling wrap up. But as I said, if anything here that we did talk about grabbed your attention, feel free to comment on anything that we just talked about, whether that's of course, the three new animated series coming out from DC Studios, or the whole Rob Liefeld crowdfunding. I mean, 13 years, and he still haven't got the books out. That's kind of, again, that kind of behavior is kind of like being a thief in the night. People are not generally speaking going to be happy about all that. Um, all right then. So let's see. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and prepare to, as I said, move on to rest and wrap up. We're going to go back over the weekend here. We're going to actually first go over to AEW and um, look back to some of this stuff from Collision. At least go over the results. As of course, last Saturday's Collision was pretty much a week out from next Sunday or this Sunday's Revolution pay per view. As this Wednesday, of course, will be Dynamite, in which AEW will be looking to have the go home show for before heading into this Sunday's Revolution. So with Nigel McGuinness, Tony Schiavone, and Matt Menard on commentary, saw the opening match. Opening match of the evening saw Undisputed Kingdom duo of Kyle Riley and Roderick Strong defeat FTR, Cash Wheeler or Dax Harwood in a tag team match. Wheeler Yuta defeated Willie Mack in a one-on-one match in just under 4 minutes. Swerve Strickland defeated Carl Khan as he prepares for his upcoming number one contendership match against Ricochet at this Sunday's Revolution pay-per-view. Clark Khan is coming over from New Japan, of course, to get some time in here in the States. In a six-man tag match with Shane Taylor in their corner, Shane Taylor Promotions, Lee Moriarty, the current Ring of Honor Pure Champion, and Carly Bravo and Sean Dean, who are looking to possibly get a shot at the Sons of Texas for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship, defeated Dave Dutra, Nick Ruiz, and Vinny Massaro. Vinny Massaro, a longtime California indie wrestling star, particularly from up north, as they were at the Oakland Arena in Oakland, California for Collision. The AEW TNT title match between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole went to a no contest. Queen Aminata defeated Julia Hart in a one-on-one match. And the main event saw Bandito, former Ring of Honor champion Bandito and Powerhouse Hobbs defeat the Learning Trees Big Bill and Brian Keith. So as we again continue to look forward to this Sunday's Revolution pay-per-view. Let's see now. So now let's go ahead and talk about Saturday. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber, which happened on Saturday. Go through some of the matches from there. As the Elimination Chamber event took place at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Canada, with Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and Wade Barrett on commentary. The opening match saw the opening match saw the women's women's Elimination Chamber match, which was for the number one contendership to the number one contendership to the women's world title coming up at WrestleMania. Even early on in the match, Jade Cargill made her return, attacking Naomi, as Naomi was initially taking on Liv Morgan, I believe, early on in the match before Jade Cargill got in there and beat up Naomi. And Naomi earlier today put out a statement how she felt that, I'm sorry, not Naomi, but Jade Cargill put out a statement saying that there were probably some people, and she was, I guess, hinting at Naomi being one of them, some of the women in the WWE women's locker room who may not have been too keen on the idea of Jade Cargill coming into the company. I guess dropping hints that she believes Naomi was the one who attacked her. But we'll probably get more, and I'll talk about more what to look forward to on tonight's Monday Night Raw, of course. Naomi was the first one. Then Bayley, with the Bayley to Belly, eliminated Liv Morgan. Alexa Bliss eliminated Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan then eliminated Alexa Bliss before Bianca Belair got the final elimination on Liv Morgan, and now is set to take on Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And we'll talk about this in a moment as well. Rhea Ripley is also set to defend the women's world title on tonight, I believe, on tonight's Monday Night Raw against Io Sky. So there's a possibility Belair confronted Rhea Ripley after her win, and Io Sky also was confronting the two of them. Now, one other little note from the women's elimination chamber as well. So when they scanned over to Belair in her casing or whatever, in her elimination chamber, as it were, she was like, she looked worried that when Jade Cargill came out, there's some people who are dropping the idea that that maybe Belair may have been the one to attack Jade, but Jade somehow thought it was Naomi for some reason. So I guess we'll we'll probably see how things play out between the three of them. And when I talk a little bit about the men's elimination chamber a little bit later, we'll get into why it's possible that we could be seeing a change in Bianca Belair pretty quick here as well. In what many called a filler match, basically a match to try to draw in particularly Canadian crowd, WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton teamed with Trish Stratus, Canadian WWE legend Trish Stratus, to defeat former WWE Women's Champion Candice LeRae and former WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and current Women's Speed Champion Candice LeRae in a tag match. In the unsanctioned match, Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn. He was going to continue to beat down on Zayn after he defeated him. Saw the return of Randy Orton from long injury, in which he went after Owens with the intent to try to put Owens on the shelf with an injury. He's about to, for the first time in quite some time, execute a punt kick on Owens to try to take him out. And then in a match to determine the number one contendership to the WE and WWE Universal, in other words, the undisputed titles, John Cena outlasted CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Seth Rollins. with Damian Priest eliminating Drew McIntyre first, Logan Paul eliminating Damian Priest next, CM Punk then getting back-to-back eliminations on Logan Paul and Seth Rollins before Seth Rollins came back in and cost CM Punk a chance to win by curb stomping him for John Cena to take full advantage of the situation to get the win on Punk. Now, this led to a very interesting situation in which, with John Cena's win here, led to a very interesting because a couple weeks back, The Rock approached Cody Rhodes about the idea of Cody selling his soul to The Rock. The Rock would make him basically was promising him the world, make him an even bigger star than he is. This and that thing. Cody Rhodes subsequently told Rock where he could stick his offer. Only for Rock to give a signal, John Cena, and for the first time in 22 years, Cena has now become a heel. So Cena's now a heel in the WWE, as he will now be, of course, taking on Cody Rhodes. Now, one of the reasons that people commented on why John Cena was turned heel, and this may also apply to Bianca Belair's situation too, as they're looking at the possibility of Belair and Ripley main eventing night one of the 2-night WrestleMania event, is that they have found over the years that face versus face matches don't work on the grandest stage of all, as they call it. Having to, without the natural enmity there between two combatants, it does take a little bit away from the match. Yes, John Cena is trying to become the 17th time world champion. He's shown by turning heel that he'll do anything to gain that goal. Cody doesn't look like they were ever planning on having him turn heel, so they went with the plan of Cena, at least for the time being. There are some people who are saying that John Cena might turn face again towards the end, as basically this is his last year as an active in-ring performer. So I guess they wanted him to, especially for this WrestleMania, they wanted him to go full heel here. So it's going to be interesting to see how things work, especially with how the fallout from the Royal Rumble went. With fans having lukewarm reactions to Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair being the winners of the Royal Rumbles. With Charlotte, the reaction being so bad, the backlash being so bad, that they decided to switch gears with where initially Charlotte Flair was going to be the face and Tiffany Stratton was going to be the heel, but Tiffany Stratton's just been so over that she's pretty much full face now, and Charlotte Flair is now reverting back into heel mode, and people are saying that she probably does her best work as a heel. So kind of, So, anyways, now looking ahead to, of course, tonight's Monday Night Raw, as of course, among other things, we will probably be seeing some of the fallout from Elimination Chamber. We'll probably get more answers to some of the burning questions that came out of this. But also on tonight's Raw from Buffalo, New York, in the KeyBank Arena in Buffalo, New York, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary. The matches include, in a non-title match, WWE World World Heavyweight Champion Gunther taking on Otis. And Otis looks to gain some revenge on Gunther for trying to take advantage of his Alpha Academy teammate, Akira Tozawa. As previously mentioned, Rhea Ripley will be defending the WWE Women's World title against Io Sky. Lyra Valkyria will be defending the Women's Intercontinental Champion against Ivy Nile. And the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, will be defending the WWE World Tag Team titles against the American males of Brutus and Julius Creed with Ivy Nile in their corner. So quite a bit going on in the follow-up to. I mean, as I said, we'll also probably be hearing more from more as as WrestleMania is next month. I believe it's on the 25th, I believe, of next month. So we'll probably be hearing quite a bit from the Raw side of things for that. So that's all I got on the wrestling wrap-up here. So I'm going to go ahead and start to move ahead to, with today being Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. And first I'm going to head back 70 years. Head back 70 years ago today, back to 1945. And on this date in 1945, MGM would release in theaters the Tex Avery directed short, The Shooting of Dan Magoo, as directed by Tex Avery and starring Frank Graham as the voice of the wolf, with both Bill Thompson and Avery himself voicing Droopy. Sarah Berner did the speaking voice for Lou, while the singing voice of Lou was done by Imogen Lynn. So it's considered a loose remake of Avery's 1939 Warner Brothers cartoon Danger's Dan McFoo. So on this date, 70 years ago today, The Shooting of Dan Magoo was released to theaters by MGM. And finally, we move ahead to 2010. As on this date in 2010, and I bring it up here. The first issue of Green Hornet from Dynamite Entertainment went on sale on newsstands on this date back in 2010. So 15 years ago today, the first issue of Green Hornet from Dynamite Entertainment went on sale on this date back in 2010. It sold for $3.99 with 32 pages. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll be back here with more Niche News tomorrow. Also, this Sunday, Rick Piper will be joining me as we'll be looking at comics. We'll be continuing our look at comics going on sale in May of 1940. This Sunday, we'll be focusing in on comics going on sale from Marvel. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.